Welcome to Passion for the Pastime, where baseball lives 24/7, 365. Catch conversations with beat writers, broadcasters, current and former players of all levels. Now here's your host,
Walter Ika Balsetta. Whoops, I fumbled. I got to get out of here.
Walter Ika Balsetta.
Yo, what's up everybody, and welcome back to Passion for the Pastime here on a Monday, a holiday Monday here on Passion for the Pastime, February 17th. We're here right on time, 6 o'clock, because you know it. We got Susan Slusser coming up in about 9 minutes, so she will not be on the stream with us, unfortunately, but she will be on the phone with us. So we're still going to be connecting here with Susan Slusser in just a few minutes. But welcome on in, everybody. Welcome to Passion for the Pastime here on a Monday, on a holiday Monday. Feel rejuvenated. Hope you guys had a great weekend. And now we're starting to see the video come out from Scottsdale, Arizona. Starting to see Bryce Eldridge just hit bombs. Starting to see Willie Adames just get ready and get after it in his first at bat, his first live BP. For sure. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys all are enjoying the content that's coming out. Let me see. You guys are talking about my mic, and yep, thank you for bringing that up. Let's go ahead and go into the stereo mode. I think that should be better now. I don't know why it always does that. It always switches to my camera for some reason, but we should be good. Give me the thumbs up, everybody, if you're listening in on the podcast now. We should be good. Should be coming in through the Rodecaster, through my microphone, instead of the stupid camera. But what's up, everybody? Welcome on in to Passion for the Pastime. Again, if this is your first time joining the podcast, and you guys can feel the energy, right? I'm excited because not only was I rejuvenated over the weekend, I got to meet up and have a couple of drinks with AJ Cruz and my guy Rockin' New Era. Rockin' still waiting for that Blue Jays hat in the mail. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, man. But no, I met up with them in my own neighborhood, and we were just chatting, bro. We were just chatting. So it was a fun time. It was a fun time. So that gave me life to my soul. But then also, just being at home, getting ready for the grind of 162, getting ready for the grind of spring training. And just the first day with the full team workouts, you're starting to see the players on the field, and you start to get excited, man. I mean, we get the first games of spring training coming down here at the end of the week. Saturday is the first game with the Giants. You'll be able to hear that on KMBR as they take on the Texas Rangers on the road. So that will be a lot of fun. Obviously, the Rangers, Bruce Bochy, we all know that connection. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, now things start to get real. I mean, what we've been talking about the last month or so, and even in the offseason, I mean, we're talking about potential trades, and we're talking about, potential rosters and all that kind of stuff. I know it's not 100% real because it's still spring training, but we get to see live baseball. And also, I mean, the opening day for college baseball. I don't know how many baseball heads are in the YouTube chat that watch college baseball, but I'll watch any type of baseball that there is. I know my guy Jack Loader, we've had him on here from KMBR. We'll have him on again shortly, not shortly today, but in a couple of days when the time is necessary for Mr. Jack Loader. But he's a huge seam head, and he was watching a lot of college baseball as well. So really happy to start to see some live baseball happening here in the next couple of weeks, next couple of days actually, and starting to see the video just coming out of Scottsdale. You got to be really, really excited for this Giants team, just going into this new chapter of what is the Buster Posey era. So again, we will be joined by Susan Slusser here in the next 5 minutes. It will be on the phone. She will not join us on the stream, but she will be here. You'll be able to hear Susan Slusser, and it'll be a lot of fun, a lot of great Giants talk coming up in the next couple of minutes. But just want to remind you guys, and I'll get out to the YouTube chat before we give Susan Slusser a call. Just want to remind you guys, I did put in there at the top of, wasn't the first tweet, wasn't the first message anyway. Rockin' New Era beat me. Hey, yo, what's up, Rockin'? Good to see you in here, man. Good to see you on Saturday, right? It was Saturday that we met up? Yeah, it was Saturday, you and AJ Cruz. Good to see you then. Good to see you now. But right under that, we saw the Passion for the Pastime message there. You guys go ahead and read that. If you haven't done so, we will be giving away 2 Giants regular season tickets at the end of this week. On Thursday during that show, we will be giving away 2 regular season tickets to a later to be determined game in the regular season, hopefully in the first month of the season, if not the first homestand of the season. But you need to enter for a chance to win, and how you do that. And obviously, because we've hit over 100 subscribers, and we'd love that number to keep going up. But to honor those first 100, I want to give you guys those 2 tickets to go see the Giants at some point during the regular season. So we'll definitely be able to do that. But the way that you get those tickets, it's not just enough to subscribe. It's not just enough to be here, but you want to go ahead and take a screenshot of your subscription and send that screenshot to the email for the podcast, passionforthepastime@gmail.com. Once you do that, you will be entered for a chance to win 2 tickets to a select Giants game in the near future of the 2025 season. So again, look at that message that I put in there right under Rockin' New Era, and you guys will be taken care of, and we'll I'll regurgitate this throughout the shows this week. But Thursday will be the grand giveaway. So if you haven't done so already, make sure to do that. Subscribe, hit the like button, set your notifications so you don't miss the giveaway on Thursday. But you guys will definitely, you have to do your part. You have to not only be subscribed, and I love you guys for subscribing and love you guys for being here, but make sure you're subscribed and you send that screenshot to finally get in on the action and enter for your chance to win. It is on you guys as well, but I'll try to make it as easy as possible before we do that giveaway on Thursday during the live show. So let's get on out to the YouTube chat really quick before I go ahead and give Susan Slusser a call. We're going to talk some Giants baseball. Susan Slusser, senior beat writer for the San Francisco Giants. We will be talking some Giants baseball in a little bit. But let's go out to the YouTube chat really quick to say hi to everybody. Rockin', we already said hi. AJ, what's up, dude? Good to see you on Saturday and good to see you here tonight. Really appreciate you guys stopping by for sure. Lori Galvin, good to see you in here. Yes, we are talking some baseball here on Passion for the Pastime. Let's see what else. EB, what's up, EB? Good to see you in here. Good to see you in here again. And EB, I think you still gotta put in a entry for some Giants tickets. Don't miss out on the action. Rockin' New Era chiming in. Let's catch a baseball game in Martinez for some semi-pro league this summer. Hell yeah, dude. Is Jose Canseco still going to be doing those? That'd be pretty fun. I remember when he was doing them in not Martinez, but he was doing them in Pittsburgh. I remember that years ago. I did not get out there to see him, but I know my guy Rockin' New Era went out to go see Jose Canseco playing some semi-pro ball in Pittsburgh. I forget what the team was, but Pittsburgh for sure. Pittsburgh baseball. Otis, what's up, Otis? Otis, I need to see you in there. I need to see you enter for a chance to win, man. Remember, subscribe to the podcast. Take a screenshot, send that screenshot to passionforthepastime@gmail.com. Just refer to the message at the top of the board in the YouTube chat for more instructions. But let's see what else we got going on here. Mama J, good to see Mama J in here. Hello. Please let me win. Please let me win. Yeah, well, I'll do my best, Mama J. I'll do my best. You guys will see the live draw on Thursday. We'll have like a little pinwheel. We'll hit the spin button, and whoever it lands on, that will be your winner. So let's go back out. Are multiple entries allowed? Well, if you're subscribed multiple times, I guess so. But get your family involved. Spread it that way. In that, get your wife, get your girlfriend, get your Get your mom, your dad, your kids, your cousins, get them all subscribed to the podcast, and they will have a chance to win, and then they can take you. That's my answer to that conundrum, AJ. But that's how we can get past some of the loopholes here of multiple entries. Just not to say that I've done that before to win stuff. I'm just saying. I'm just putting you guys on game. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun today, guys. We're going to go ahead and give Susan Slusser a call here shortly. But while I dial her up, let me go ahead and get my phone, because I got to call her on my cell phone, and we'll be dialing her up shortly. What are your guys? I mean, for sure, because we're going to be talking some Giants baseball here in a second. But you guys let me know. You guys let me know what you want to ask Susan Slusser, and we'll get her on the phone, and we'll answer some of those questions, because there are a lot of questions going into the spring with the San Francisco Giants. A lot of roster, a lot of roster questions, a lot of questions in the rotation. So we'll do that. But if you guys have any questions that you want me to relay to the great Susan Slusser, we'll definitely do that on the other side as we get into the interview. But I believe we have made the connection, and I believe that I hear Susan Slusser in my ear. So Susan of the San Francisco Chronicle, Susan Slusser, welcome to Passion for the Pastime. It is Walter Icabalceta here from KMBR. Susan, what's up? How you doing today?
Hey, Walter. I'm great. How are you?
I am doing great. I'm really excited because we are now starting to see players on the field in Scottsdale. So it's a really good time of the year.
Yeah. I mean, spring is always so fun. Anybody that's been down to spring training knows that, the vibe is so great. The weather is usually pretty good. But yeah, especially these first couple of weeks when things are sort of starting to come together and you can see maybe that there's a plan, and you check in with different guys who are coming off of injuries or new guys. It's just, there's, especially for, us reporters, what a great time. Like, so much to write about.
Yeah, for sure. And there's like no shortage of storylines going into this Giants spring training, Susan. And, the direction of this Giants club ever since Buster Posey has taken over late last year, just what is your vibe with this team, with Buster Posey at the reins right now as the team gets ready to start their first games here this Saturday?
Well, for lack of a better term, I think what we're kind of all saying is that, Buster kind of values a little bit of the old school approach. Mm-hmm. He's talked about wanting gritty players and letting pitchers get deeper into games and letting his manager make out the lineups and make his own decisions and all that kind of stuff. And look, hey, even the most modern of front offices now does those things to a certain extent. But we certainly saw some swings the other directions at times the last few years. And I think Buster played recently. He's got such a feel for the game, the way it's played now. The current players, he knows guys. He signed Justin Verlander. He's faced Justin Verlander. He's younger than Justin Verlander, right, as Verlander's pointed out. I mean, that's one of the really cool things is he's just so young. So anything the Giants do all year, Buster's kind of going to be a part of the story, right? His vision for this team is what they're going to do now and in future years, and it's just going to be fascinating to follow it, figure out kind of how he's thinking, what he prioritizes, what he really values. And so far, he's said grit a few times, and that's the kind of guys we're getting. Certainly Verlander, Willie Adames, my goodness, such a good player, such a steady player. Guys that want to play every day, guys that want to pitch deep into games, and just want to go out and win. It's a tough division. I don't know if we can really evaluate him all that well, certainly this year, based on the division. But I'm really looking forward to seeing. He's so smart. Buster Posey is so smart. He was such a good player. I think sometimes that overshadowed the smarts he has. But a leader, and I love this role. But he could have been a great manager if he wanted to, too. But this is a really interesting role for him.
Yeah, it's really interesting and going to be interesting to follow along just as long as it goes, right, for Buster Posey, because this is kind of uncharted territories. But with the fan base, I would say I think the reaction to it was that he just brings a calm, he brings a easiness to the Giants fans that are following along with the orange and black, and I feel like if the fans are feeling that, I feel like this is kind of a trickle down effect to maybe the development of some of these younger guys that haven't maybe had the proper, opportunity or the development process for Buster Posey. So how do you think that psyche plays with the current players on the roster, not only the 26 man, but the 40 man and just even deeper into the minor leagues?
Well, as I reported the other day, certainly one of the first things that's happening is in the upper reaches of the Giants minor leaguers, the pitchers are going to get a little bit more leash. They won't be limited to strict pitch count quite as much. They won't be limited to numbers of innings quite as much. I think, it's that old, you train people for the job you want them to have. And I think the Giants will be doing that more. If you want a guy to come up and throw 7 innings, you got to let him do it a few times in the minor leagues. Learn how to get through the lineup 3 or 4 times. So I think we're going to see that. But what really will be interesting, I think, is when does Posey decide to make some moves with some of the bigger name prospects, the Bryce Eldridge or whatever? Could he be bold enough to do something fairly early if a young prospect without a lot of experience is doing well? Will he wait till the Giants are potentially out of it, or just if there's a need with injury? How does he see this season? We know he's a competitor. We know he wants to win now. He's also very realistic, very practical. This is going to be a division in which the Giants could be very good and finish 4th. It's just a statement of fact. You've got a guy, LaMonte Wade, who is a free agent to be at first base, and you've got a 20-year-old, 6'7", very top prospect who's waiting in the wings. That's one that I think we're really interested to see how he's going to handle that. But not just that, the catching situation, the backup catcher situation is really interesting. And Buster Posey's got to have some opinions on that. He didn't sign Tom Murphy to a 2-year deal. That was the previous front office. Who winds up with that? He's added Max Stassi. He added Sam Huff as possibilities on the 40-man. I would really like to see where that goes. So again, just a nonstop storyline. Maybe for as long as Buster Posey is in this role, he's going to get a little tired of that. I kind of feel like all of us are like putting, hey, can we get Buster Posey into this headline somehow? That's probably going to get old after a while.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, everybody's going to be watching the management of the top prospect, Bryce Eldridge, and everyone's so excited to see him. I mean, I was excited watching just the videos that we're seeing from the first full squad workouts today with Bryce Eldridge. I think he took one deep, but he hit one. He hit one far. Let's just say that. I don't know if it was a home run, but Bryce Eldridge. I mean, just to see that power profile. And just to see how young he is right now, it's going to be really interesting to see what Buster Posey does there. But we're talking here with Susan Slusser of the San Francisco Chronicle, senior beat reporter for the San Francisco Giants. And Susan, so I kind of want to go there with Bryce Eldridge because there are a lot of eyeballs on that, right? And it's the biggest story, I think, maybe going into spring training. What do you think is his percentage of, is there anything that he could do, I guess is the question. Is there anything that he could do to crack the 26 man, or is it just kind of like, hey man, go out there, perform, and we'll evaluate from there?
It's probably unlikely he cracks the opening day roster, but there are 2 potential paths if that were to happen, or say, even in the first half. One is if, the obvious, if he is just crushing the ball nonstop and, more important, great at bats. That's what they want to see. Mm-hmm. Really good at bats, smart takes, having a real idea with what pitchers are trying to do to him, getting on base, even if he's not hitting for power, those kinds of things. The Giants have a DH spot open. Would they use that for a 20-year-old? A little bit unlikely, but you could maybe, I don't want to say hi to him. He's still learning first base, but I think he's going to pick it up. He's very athletic. If they want to kind of limit his play maybe at first, they give him some DH at bats, they could do that. Or if he comes out and really looks like he has figured things out first base and looks good, he's got a shot. He really does have a shot. Yeah. LaMonte Wade came in, said, hey, I could play in the outfield. He's been running. Let it be known that he's available to play in the outfield. So I think everything kind of is up for grabs at this point. I'd be stunned, again, if Bryce Eldridge makes the opening day roster. There are a lot of people in the organization who are pretty opposed to bringing him up soon, rushing him in any way. You talk to a lot of scouts and other executives around the game, and they think this is a guy you probably want to leave at Sacramento probably all year, or at least into September. But it's a world of talent. He's a 6'7" first baseman with some pop and a ton of charisma and confidence. I'm not counting him out.
Yeah, I mean, it would be really, really exciting, obviously, if he was to crack the 26-man. But I think Giants fans also understand that good things take time, right? So I don't think that there would be any displeasure, I guess, if he was to start the year in the minor leagues. Do you think that would he start in Richmond, Susan, if it wasn't on with the big league club, or would it be possibly in Sacramento, or is it just dependent on how well he performs in spring?
Well, it's interesting you asked that. I mean, you would think logically he finished up last year at Sacramento, he goes back there, but Sacramento is not necessarily going to be the best spot to put somebody who's learning to play a position, right. Especially as the season goes along. That infield is probably going to be rock hard at times between just the weather conditions there with the heat in the summer, but also constant play with the A's being there too. I have heard people in development say maybe Richmond for most of the season is the best spot for him, but I don't think that's been determined. And, some people might go like, hey, learning to play first base in less than ideal circumstances, you come up to the big leagues and you go like, wow, this is easy now. Look at this beautiful field and these true bouncers. So, hey, that's possible too. Everything about Bryce Eldridge is a question mark, but I suspect we will see him here at some point, certainly in September. It would be disappointing if we didn't.
Yeah, we'll definitely see Bryce Eldridge at some point here in the near future. Depends on when that is still yet to be determined. But Susan, let's go ahead and look at the now. I mean, the roster that the Giants have that that's going to be on the 26-man, and who's going to be playing shortstop pretty much every day that he's available is Willie Adames. That's another big storyline this offseason. The Giants signed him to that 7-year, $182 biggest contract in franchise history. So when you look to Willie Adames, just how much do you think that changes the culture approach of this Giants team, to where you have another guy similar to Matt Chapman of last year that is going to go out there and compete every single day? And what are the things that he brings to this Giants offense? Is it much improved from last year? But your thoughts on Willie Adames?
He's just a good overall player, and his teammates and coaches at past places have done nothing but rave about him, like gone out of their way to rave about him as a team leader and just as a good dude. And you look at stats, he played in 161 games last year. I mean, that's leadership in and of itself. But when you've got a shortstop who's a good two-way player and is invested and is friendly and just sort of directed as Willie Adames is, very focused, I think that goes a long way with everyone. And what he brings with having Matt Chapman next to him at third, that left side of the infield for their pitching staff is huge. So I love him in the middle of the lineup. I love him at shortstop. Shortstop was such an all over the place thing last year. what a difference having a guy in there every day will be. And I think Tyler Fitzgerald will be better at second base, and he thinks so too. He thinks he profiles a little bit better there, partly because of his arm. He didn't do a bad job there at all last year by any means. Very young, certainly, but, that's another piece of the puzzle is that it shifts Tyler Fitzgerald over and he to a spot that he might wind up being pretty darn good at.
Yeah, it's really interesting now that you start looking around, in particular to the entirety of the offense, but in specific, the infield, right? I mean, you look at Matt Chapman; he's going to be there every day. Willie Adames, he's going to be there every day. We'll see what the trajectory is for Tyler Fitzgerald, but you figure that he's going to get a bulk of the starts at second base, and he's your everyday second baseman. And then you go to the outfield. I mean, it kind of looks like maybe Elliot Ramos will be your everyday left fielder, I guess, as long as the matchups say so. And then Jung Hoo Lee, right? He's coming back from his injury, and I would suspect that he's going to be out there more often than not when he's available. So when you look to Jung Hoo Lee, I know that there's been reports early on in the spring with Bob Melvin when in his media availability talking about the spots in the order. And of course, it's way too early to make any determinations here prior to any games even starting in spring training. But they've talked about the prospect of LaMonte Wade Jr. Going in the leadoff spot and batting Jung Hoo Lee third. Now, are the Giants expecting a surge of power? Are they looking to him to have a different not approach, but will he profile as a power bat in that 3-hole, or are they trying to kind of do it differently there with the 3-hole in the lineup?
Well, it's interesting. I think more than anything, Bob Melvin just doesn't want any surprises if that happens now and then. Nothing's going to be set in stone. I think a lot of it's going to be determined by opposing pitchers, how guys are playing, other things in the lineup too. But when you look at it, LaMonte Wade has plenty of experience leading off. Jung Hoo Lee has plenty of experience batting third. It's not crazy. If you did it regularly, what you're thinking is you get LaMonte Wade, who is one of the, if he'd qualified last year, he would have been fourth in the National League in on-base percentage. You get him on base, and then you've got, but in the third spot, a guy in Jung Hoo Lee who is an excellent contact hitter. Now, we haven't seen a lot of power from him, but he does not strike out. He could put the ball in play if they want to, get like real throwback Buster Posey, if they want to really go old school, some hit and runs. But yeah, he is going to be less likely than some other guys in the more free swingers maybe in the lineup to strand runners at third. He's going to move guys over and he's going to get guys in. And for a number 3 hitter, sometimes that's really what you need for a team that is struggling to score runs. And that was their biggest inconsistency last year, was scoring runs regularly. They didn't have as bad an offense as I think the numbers showed, but they were a little all over the map with the consistency. So I think he would be very consistent in that spot. But he could also, handle the leadoff spot, and he's got much more speed than LaMonte Wade. Didn't steal a lot. I would like to see him walk more and steal more. For me, he does not have to have a lot of power, even hitting in the 3 spot. It just needs to, get on base more and maybe steal some more bases.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see Jung Hoo Lee, because I mean, this is essentially his rookie season 2.0, right? Because he only made it to Mother's Day last year, so it'll be really interesting to see how he can adjust to major leagues. But it looks like there's a good trajectory for Jung Hoo Lee, and then also just going back to LaMonte Wade Jr. Susan, I think that this offense becomes more able if LaMonte Wade Jr. can be in the leadoff spot and continue to get on base, because that's something that we did see him do prior to his hamstring injury last year.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, he's just elite at getting on base. He thinks he will have more power, which, if that's the case, maybe you want to stick him a little bit, second or third hole instead. Yeah. But he did not have his legs under him really last year with all those leg injuries, and now he feels like he does after an off season spent really trying to work on that and get his legs built up. Lots of running, distance running, sprinting, you name it. He said he felt the power difference when he was working out at Maryland, which is where he always works out, and with his old college team, which I love that he goes back there every year. How great for those kids, but great for him too, you know?
Yeah.
He gets a little more taste of competition than I think some other guys get in the off season. So he's got a lot to play for, you know, beyond just the team as a free agent to be. He's very unlikely to be in the Giants' future plans based on Bryce Eldridge, but it's really hard to look at a guy who's been a very good team player for a long time and say he's one of the league leaders in on-base percentage a couple of years in a row here. Let's just let him go. So he's auditioning for everyone, but a little bit the Giants too, depending on, you know, what else they've got going on.
Yeah, definitely a lot of storylines to follow along as spring training is officially underway, or the first games, rather, are going to be starting this weekend. We're talking here with Susan Slusser, last couple of minutes here with Susan. And so, Susan, we've been talking a lot about the offense, right? And we know that this Giants regime with Buster Posey, they've always preached pitching and defense, right? So I kind of want to pivot and switch gears here to the pitching staff. I mean, you have the constant there, your ace with Logan Webb, and then after that you have Robbie Ray, Justin Verlander, and it looked like Jordan Hicks was named the number 4 starter, right? Was that any surprise for Hicks getting seemingly the 4th spot in the rotation?
I mean, I don't think Bob's come right out and said he is our number 4 guy, but both Buster Posey and Bob Melvin have been very clear. The plan is for Jordan Hicks to start in the rotation. Right. So, and the 5th spot's up for grabs. So I guess you could extrapolate he's the number 4 guy. You know, who knows? Honestly, to me, I think besides your opening day starter, which, you know, that's always a nice little perk, the actual order means almost nothing, right, and can change all the time. But he is definitely in their starting pitching plans. He feels great. He feels like he has a better idea of how to handle the whole entire season. You know, he's been a reliever in his major league career, and switching to, you know, and another kind of thing that doesn't get talked about a lot. He's a type 1 diabetic. You have to, you know, also kind of gauge things like your glucose levels. And he knows how to do that. You know, the professional athletes who are type 1 diabetics are absolutely on it. But it can lead to a little bit more fatigue and all of that. And just the first year of full starts, he was worn out by the end. And I mean, he was very honest about that, which is good. I feel good, so bad for guys who are honest about how they're feeling physically, right, and then who get shredded by like some portions of the fan base. Yeah, you don't want a guy hiding how he's feeling because that could be far worse for the team, right? So good for him for speaking up and then for figuring it out. He feels like he's addressed it, and he's a talent. So I certainly hope that works out there. And this spot, a little bit up for grabs. I'm a little surprised by that. I thought Kyle Harrison, you know, though we're somewhat erratic last year, had done enough for them to say, like, we're going with him in that 5th spot, and then we'll see. But they've got a lot of very good young arms. So I think he's the leader in the clubhouse for that 5th spot, but they've got some good options if not.
Yeah, and just going back to Jordan Hicks, I mean, you know, for the fan base that say, you know, that they don't like Jordan Hicks, just remember the first 9 starts that he had. He was electric, if not the best pitcher on the team, quite frankly. So I really look forward to seeing how he can go back at it for year 2. I mean, we all have to remember, like, that was a learning curve for him, right? Like, he was figuring out how to be a starter. So those first 9, I mean, those were the most electric starts. Like, I started having flashbacks to Tim Lincecum. That might be a bit of a stretch, but I was excited to see him on the mound every 5th day during that beginning of the season. But Susan, wrapping up here really quick, I just want to get your final thoughts. We talked about the rotation, but that 5th spot, right? You mentioned there with Kyle Harrison being the leader in the clubhouse as getting that final spot. what happens with the other guys that are potentially competing with that? I mean, you have Landon Roop also in the room. You have Hayden Birdsong, who surprised a lot of people last year and quite frankly looked really effective last year. If they don't get like the Landon Roops, but even more importantly, Hayden Birdsong, if they don't get the number 5 spot, is there a spot in the in the bullpen for these young guys to stick around on the 26 man, or is it more likely that they end up in Sacramento?
Oh my gosh. And, and they've also got beyond those guys that you mentioned, they've got Wisenhunt, they've got about three or four guys named Carson. It seems like.
The 3 Carsons.
And it looks like they're like 6'8". Yeah. I mean, it's really, they've got a pretty solid bench there. With Roop and with Birdsong in particular, they both have experience relieving. Mm-hmm. However, and this is me and my own opinion, I would not put a good young starter in the bullpen out of the chute. I would send them down, keep them stretched out. You need so many starters over the course of a year, and I think you want your good young arms who can start. You want them starting. Look at Roop, a few times in the bullpen, and he, he's really not able to start after that. So, you got Sean Jelly. I think they're going to be set with relievers. They've got a lot of options there. I would rather send those guys down and keep them on turn to start if needed.
All right.
When needed.
Well, Susan, I really appreciate you taking the time. I have a couple of questions here in the YouTube chat. They want to pick your brain really quickly just on your way out. Lori Galvin chimes in and loves to hear you on KMBR and on the podcast, Susan. So Lori Galvin checking in and says, which players are your players to watch or your favorites going into spring training?
Oh, wow. I mean, it's almost hard to say because there's so many good storylines. But I'm very excited about Willie Adames. And also, you guys, I think you all know I covered the A's for a million years. I have been convinced for a very long time because of that Justin Verlander is the greatest pitcher of all time. He's 42, but I think if anybody could have a huge bounce back here, he's already been comeback player of the year once when he was, at the age of almost 40, coming off of Tommy John, won the Cy Young Award. And this is a guy I would not put anything past. Super excited to see what he might do. He's kind of already talking about winning his 300th game in a Giants uniform. That would be beyond this year.
Yeah.
That would mean he'd pitch pretty well for the Giants this year if he sticks around in San Francisco.
Yeah. What's the number? 38, right? He's 38 away from 300.
Something like that. Yeah. It would take him at least 2 years, probably 3. Let's be realistic.
That'd be incredible if he can get it done in 2 years. that would be really good.
Yeah.
That would be really good.
I think the Giants would be pretty excited about that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Not a lot of 20-game winners you see anymore.
Yeah, for sure. That's a dying breed in today's day and age in Major League Baseball. One more question for you on the way out, Susan. Rockin' New Era chiming in on right field. We didn't really talk about the outfield too much other than Jung Hoo Lee. But will right field be an interchanging position, or does Yaz have that locked up for the most part?
You know what? He will probably be in a platoon, but he's a left-handed half of a platoon, so he gets the bulk of starts there. What they do with it beyond that will be interesting. Luis Matos, I would love to see a lot more of however they can do it. And again, they have that DH spot open, so some of these people might wind up DHing some. But Matos had a monster season in winter ball.
Yeah.
And looks like he might have figured things out the way that Elliot Ramos kind of came out of nowhere and did. The one guy I think is probably not quite as much in the plans and is still learning the outfield is Marco Luciano, which is too bad because if he had been in the outfield maybe the last couple of years in the minors, I think he'd be probably ready to go there. So we shall see. But this is, again, they've got some good young options in the outfield, and it's almost pick 'em.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to follow along in the right field as well. But yeah, I'm with you, Marco Luciano. I know that they're trying to try him out in the corner outfield, but yeah, if this process would have started maybe a couple years ago, maybe he'd be fighting for that 26-man spot, or even opening the the year, like as your starting right fielder or starting corner outfielder, depending. But Susan, really appreciate you stopping by the podcast today, and really appreciate your time. Thank you for stopping by, and we'll do it again soon. Really appreciate it, Susan.
Oh, my pleasure, my friend. Anytime.
All right. Well, that was Susan Slusser of the San Francisco Chronicle, and love Susan. Love having her on the podcast here, and love having her on KNBR. Obviously, you guys know that she is a weekly fixture for, I believe, 2 of the 3 shows. But I think we're going to be having on Susan a lot more frequently. Yeah, Rockin' New Era chiming in. Remember Lucius Fox? Yes, I do. I do remember Lucius Fox. Damn, that hurts a little bit. They're rocking, so really appreciate it. But I hope you guys enjoyed that conversation. I tried to sneak in some of your questions in there, but we'll do that all season long. We'll talk with Susan. We'll get up with Bags. We'll talk to all these people that are in the know, that know way more about the game of baseball, way more about the Giants than I do. So we'll continue to do that as the season goes on. And man, it's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. And yes, Susan is awesome. She's the best, man. She really is helpful, and love to just hear her break stuff down, man. Really love to hear her break stuff down, because she knows her stuff. I mean, I don't have to tell you guys and promote Susan, but you guys know with Susan Slusser, she's one of the best out there, if not the best out there for baseball in general. But let me go back out to the YouTube chat really quickly. Let's see what else you guys are talking about. I know I tried to get some of your questions in there, but if you have any questions for me, anything that we talked about with Susan, what was really interesting, where I didn't anticipate going down that route as long as we did, because the fact of the matter, Bryce Eldridge probably won't make the opening day roster, right? He probably won't be on this Giants team. He'll probably start in Richmond at the start of the season. So we'll have to figure that out. But it sounds like there is a path. That was telling when we spoke with Susan Slusser. There is a path for Bryce Eldridge to crack the opening day roster. And that just gets me a little excited. Obviously, just seeing everything, and I don't know if you guys have seen, I'll have to load in some of these videos, but Alex Pavlovich and Susan, or not Susan, Shayna Rubin of the Chronicle, they had some videos out on Willie Adames, who hit a home run in his first live AB of the spring. But they also had video on Bryce Eldridge, and Bryce Eldridge just looks like a mammoth human being. He looks huge. But when he connected on a ball, and I only saw one video circulating, but it looked like everybody that was watching, crack of the bat, and somebody in the background, I don't know who it was, if it was a beat writer or if it was someone on the roster or a Giants player at spring training, I heard someone say, "That's out of here." So but you look at the trajectory, you look at how hard he hit the ball. I wasn't surprised. I was just like, yeah, dude, that he looked like he crushed that out of the ballpark by a mile. His swing is just so good. But with him being there, and you're starting to see the stories come out from the Pavlovich and from Shayna Rubin, it's really interesting to see that he has this enormous amount of confidence. Enormous amount of confidence for a guy that's so young, that is going to his first major league camp. And that is telling, and that can take you a long way, man, because we were talking about Luis Matos not too long ago, when we were talking about, I believe I forget who we were talking to. Maybe we were talking to Carlos Ramirez, I think, is when we were talking to Carlos, and we were talking about Luis Matos and the sprint, the winter ball that he had, winning the MVP of the winter ball, hitting 300. I believe it was 10 home runs and something along those lines. But he really tore it up. He really tore it up to where he has confidence, right? And then we flash back to when he was tearing it up during the 2024 season, right? I mean, he was one of the hottest players in baseball. He won a Player of the Week A lot of them were against the Rockies, but he won a Player of the Week, and his confidence was just at an all-time high. And then he started to go through, the lulls. He started to go through the rough patches, and that's where the confidence, you could see it. It wasn't out there anymore. And then he would misplay a ball, and he would be, over aggressive in the outfield and misplay the route to a ball and all that kind of stuff. And that's where the confidence was starting to wane, right? But you have that confidence. You're already winning half of the battle, and I would love to bring you guys a interview with a former player. I mean, to have maybe Hunter, because he's going to be down in Arizona. Maybe talk to Javi. Maybe talk to Contos, like some guys that have been in the major leagues, right? Because they can speak to that confidence factor, to where that you can go out there and you can compete. It's just a very different thing, because I think that's what happened with Elliot Ramos. Like, he had the confidence that he can go out there and compete, and he can go out there and be great. And you saw what kind of year he had. He ended up getting into the All-Star game, and he's looking to be your everyday left fielder. So confidence can take you a long way. And that's my long-winded way of saying that Bryce Eldridge, going into camp as confident as he is, I would not put it past him to make it on to the 26-man roster. I know it is a long shot. I know it's a long shot, and I'm not counting on it. I'm not going to hold my breath, but just to hear Susan talk about, and she said the same thing. It's just like, it's a long shot, but there is a path for Bryce Eldridge to potentially make that jump to the major league level. So it'll be really interesting to follow that along. And then also, the question that we've been asking is what happens with that fifth spot in the rotation, right? And Susan was talking about Kyle Harrison, in that he looks like the favorite to be the guy to win the fifth spot in the rotation. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Hayden Birdsong did win that position, because I didn't ask Susan, but just to have Kyle Harrison coming out of the bullpen as being a lefty, that would help the Giants in their bullpen construction, right? But then also, just going back, I think that's kind of why I didn't ask the question, is that in Susan's answer, it kind of answered it, was that whoever doesn't get the fifth rotation spot, it sounds like they're going to be going down to the minor leagues. It sounds like they are going to get stretched out, because you don't want to have the developmental years of these young players be taken away because they're in the bullpen waiting for opportunities. You need these young guys to be throwing. You need these guys to build up their arm strength. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of the answer to that question, is that whoever doesn't make this the fifth starter, they're going to be in AAA, and they're going to be ramping up their arm strength. They're going to be getting their innings in, and this is kind of the long approach, right? When you look to the Giants' construction of years to come, right? It's not only for 2025. You got to get ready for 2025, 2026, 2027, and beyond. You got to see what these guys can do. And you have guys in Landon Roop. You have guys in, she's mentioned all the Carsons, Carson Wisenhunt, Carson Seymour. I mean, there might be another Carson. I don't know, man. But the Giants love Carsons like the Diamondbacks love Corbins. You know what I mean? Patrick Corbin, Corbin Burns, Corbin Carroll. I mean, God, you name it. What? Geez, it just happens that way sometimes. I guess with organizations, they draft by names. You guys ever do that in Madden? I think I've talked about it before. If not, I've talked about it in a prior podcast life with Derek. I would draft guys on names. I would draft guys just solely based on their name, not by need. I'm just like, oh yeah, that guy, he has a solid name. I'm gonna draft him. So let's go out to the YouTube chat, because I'm done with my rant. But I'm just jacked up, man. Just jacked up with February 17th. We have the first full squad workout in Scottsdale, Arizona. You got all the guys out there. You got the players getting ready to start their first couple of games here in the next 6 days, right? The first game for the Giants is I can't count. Obviously, that's 5 days, I believe. The first game for the Giants is on Saturday against the Texas Rangers. You'll be able to hear that on KMBR, and I'll be listening for sure. You got Dwayne and John Miller on the call for those games, so a lot of fun stuff. Let's get out to the YouTube chat and check in what's going on with you guys. Pat H, good to see you in here. Matos, is that how you say it? Matos. Yeah, that's my guy. Love Luis Matos. Would love to see him get another opportunity to get everyday at bats. I think somebody else said that earlier. Let's see. Oh yeah, Otis right here. Otis. And good question, Rockin', because I didn't even get to the outfield per se, because like I mentioned, the Bryce Eldridge conversation took way more than I had originally anticipated. I was only going to ask like 2 questions because I didn't feel like he was going to be on the team. But then Susan did give us that glimmer of hope. I was just like, oh, okay, well, hold on. Let's talk about this a little bit. So my apologies on that, but it was great stuff with Susan and Bryce Eldridge for sure. Really interesting to see where he ends up and where he starts his 2025 campaign. But Rockin', good question there. We snuck that in at the end. And you guys remember, anytime that we're having a conversation, I know it's not, I know we gotta beat this into you guys, on the Passion for the Pastime podcast. What I will do, I will have a conversation, and we will have the best conversations. We'll have the best interviews here on Passion for the Pastime. But I don't want you guys just to be sitting there, listening mindlessly. If you have a question, if you have a thought that you want me to ask to whoever's on the show, regardless of who it is, if it's Danny, if it's Loader, if it's Susan, if it's Bags, if it's Hunter, whoever it is, if you guys have a question, feel free to put it into the YouTube chat, because as you saw there, I will read your questions. I will not forget about you guys in the YouTube chat, even when we have somebody in here. That's what we do here on the Passion for the Pastime. It's a family. It's a family. If you guys have a question, if you guys have a thought, and something that I'm not hitting on, you guys really want to have answered, go ahead and spam me in the YouTube chat, and we'll get that answer for you for sure. But Otis chiming in on the right field situation. Sounds like Yaz may have it locked up, but it would be cool to see Matos get some time in right field. I agree. I think we all agree, and I think it's a matter of time, right? I mean, when you look to potential, and we didn't even get into Camilo Doval, we'll save that for another day. He's out there talking to Yasmiro Petit. At some point, Santiago Casilla is going to be in camp, so I think those are huge opportunities for Camilo Doval to kind of evolve into the next level of pitcher that I believe that the Giants think that he can be, right? Whether he can be, that remains to be seen, but we've seen it. We've seen the level of dominance. We've seen that he's been able to touch that, right? It's just replicating it over and over and over and over again. So it's going to be really interesting to see that. But Camilo Doval, right? Camilo Doval, Mike Yastrzemski, maybe LaMonte Wade Jr. if he can stay healthy. These are potential, trade pieces when it comes to the time of the trade deadline. People are going to be needing, a bat in the outfield. They're going to be also injury happens. You never know what can happen to other teams that are in better shape, let's say, than the Giants are in terms of competing for a World Series title, right? So that's where guys that can play defense, that can play fundamental baseball, that's where they become valuable. I'm not saying that you're going to get a haul for Mike Yastrzemski. I'm not saying you're going to get a haul for LaMonte Wade Jr., but you can get pieces. You can get pieces for those types of guys. And Camilo Doval, I feel like he's the bigger prize. But if he's effective and the Giants are getting closer and closer, that's somebody you want to have in the back end of your bullpen. But if it doesn't look like he's going to be part of future plans, I mean, if he goes out there and dominates this first half, I could definitely see him being moved and moved for maybe quite a haul. Maybe not, top 10 prospects or anything like that, multiple top 10 prospects, but maybe one top 10 prospect in a deal or a position that they potentially need. I mean, maybe we're looking at catchers. I wouldn't necessarily trade Camilo Doval for a backup catcher. I think they have that not figured out, but they have a lot of guys that they can mix and match in there. But you get what I'm saying. Camilo Doval will probably have the highest value if he is able to come in to this first half of the season in 2025 and be effective. So let's go back out to the YouTube chat. Let's see here. Rockin' New Era. Want to see more Matos for sure. Definitely. Pat H. Matos. What's up, Pat H? Good to see you in here. Remember Lucius Fox? Yes, we do. Susan is awesome. Yes, I think I already put that one up there. But we have to remind everyone again that Susan is awesome. Let's see here. Oh, Otis. Thank you, man. Thanks. Appreciate it, man. Great interview. I appreciate it. I love talking to Susan. Susan is one of the best out there, if not the best in for the Giants beat. I mean, I love Bags. Bags is great as well. But Susan, she's pretty awesome. Let's see here. Susan Slusser, nothing like it. Yeah, for sure. Lori Galvin, I'm a super Slusser fan. Thank you, Walter. You are welcome, Lori. You are welcome for sure. Need Susan on again. Yeah, I know you guys would much rather listen to Susan than listen to me. 24/7 here on Passion for the Pastime. But we'll have Susan on again. We won't, do it a weekly or anything like that. But we'll have her on again. We'll have her on as we get closer to the start of the season, and we'll space it out like that, because I love having Susan on and talking ball. When we did Rounding Third and King, I believe I had Susan on 2 or 3 times during the season, and it was a lot of fun. It was definitely a lot of fun to chat with Susan, talk ball. Let's see what else here. What else we got going on? Oh, Mike Val, what's up, Mike? Good to see you in here. Good to see you in here. Let's see. See more butts. Nice, Pat H. Oh, you guys are crazy. You guys are incredible. Let's see. Cool sports. Oh yeah, dude, Harry. Yeah, I'd draft him. I would draft him. Harry Sachs. Yes, I would. Look, see, Rockin' knows all the names. That's a good one. That's a good one too. Let's see here. Let's see. Lori Galvin chiming in. Any chance you live stream games this season? I'd rather listen to you. All right. Well, that is really high praise, but I mean, we're still listening to the Hall of Fame, the Hall of Fame voices of John Miller and Dwayne Kuiper and Mike Krukow and Dave Fleming. I mean, we got a lot of options there, but I appreciate you wanting to spend your time here with me. Maybe we will do a live stream if there's the demand. If you guys want to do that on maybe a Dodger series, you guys see me just completely shut down, completely melt down when the Giants are losing 8-0 in the 5th inning. We'll definitely do that. If you guys want to. If you want to do a live stream, not all games but select games, we can pick them out. We can go through the schedule before the season comes out. And we can set it up. We can set it up if that's something that you guys want to do. That's a great idea, Lori. Actually, by the way, I did set up earlier today. You guys can't see it, which also I don't know if everybody can see my background here a little bit better. Adjusted the camera, got a better camera angle. You can see 2010, 2012, and then over here got 2014. You can't really see it because it's behind my chair, but then we got the Willie Mays here, and then we got, you can't see it, but that's a Willie McCovey plaque, and then I got all these autographed balls in here. We'll go through those at one time. And then you got my bobbleheads here. You got Dwayne and Krukow. You got Buster Posey, the president of baseball operations, right behind Mike Krukow. You got Pablo Sandoval here, who's playing in Dubai. Have you guys seen that? You guys seen that he's playing in Dubai? It was a crazy, highlight. It was like Pablo Sandoval hits a ground ball single, RBI single past Didi Gregorius in Dubai. I was just like, what? I was like, what the hell's going on? That was bizarre. I thought I was having a dream or something like that. That's Pablo Sandoval right in his crotch, and then we got Brandon Crawford there. The original 35, but yeah, he gave it up to Justin Verlander. And then also the grand reveal, we got, there it is. You can see it. JT Snow right there, which maybe we'll have him on the pod at some point, to talk some Giants baseball, because speaking of Bryce Eldridge, he's going to be going down to Arizona. He's going to be working with the future phenom first baseman for the San Francisco Giants. I would love to have a conversation with JT after the fact that he speaks and goes down to Arizona. I think he's going down to Arizona in the first week of March because they have these guys usually like spread out. So we'll have to see what the plans are. And then I have a clock. You guys see this clock? Hold on. Look at this cool thing that I have with the clock. I'm trying to find the button. Can't find it. There it is. It's a light. It's a light. I makeshift that one. I used to have a neon sign back there, and now the clock is ahead of it, and now it lights up. Look at that. You guys like that? Anyways, what the hell were we talking about? Let's see what else streaming the games. So what I did, rearranged everything back here. You can't see anything here, but I have my Xbox here now. I have a screen here now. And what we'll do during select, off days or select days leading up to the regular season, we will we'll live stream some MLB The Show. I don't know if Tacky's in here, but Tacky I think he has the show. We can play the show together. I know Copes has it. Maybe Copes will pop onto the podcast and we'll live stream Talk S to each other while we play MLB The Show. So we'll be able to do that. And I thought something that would be fun as we get closer to the start of the regular season is when we have the new video game with the updated rosters, because you can't get updated rosters for MLB The Show. It's stupid. I know. I hate it. But we'll get the updated rosters for MLB 25. And we'll simulate the season. We'll see what the baseball game tells us about the San Francisco Giants. And if we think that's on par or we're being screwed by the sports engines of MLB The Show. So we'll definitely do that for sure. Let's go back out to the YouTube chat really quickly before I wrap things up. We've been talking for about an hour. Hey, look at that. Hour flies by when you're having fun. So we're gonna get on out of here shortly. But then I'll remind you guys about the contest that we are doing here on Passion for the Pastime. The giveaway for 2 Giants tickets during the regular season. You do not want to miss that opportunity. We will get to that shortly. But let's get back out to the YouTube chat. Mike Val chiming in on Bryce Eldridge. Do you someday see Bryce Eldridge being used as a left-handed reliever out of the bullpen? No, Mike, I do not see that happening. I know that he was drafted as a two-way player when the Giants were trying to prove to Shohei Ohtani that, hey, we love two-way players. Did that with Reggie Crawford. Look where he's at. And then Bryce Eldridge, I mean, there's a reason why they shifted him to just being a hitter, is because he profiled better as a hitter. I mean, left-handed reliever, like we talking to be that guy that comes in and pitches, when it's 10-0. Yeah, maybe he'll be that guy. Let Pablo pitch, let Bryce pitch. But yeah, no, I don't know if that's gonna be a thing. Yes, like that one too, Rockin'. That's a good one there as well. I wonder how different this team will look with Farhan out. Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting. I think that Giants fans are gonna have to, exercise patience, like Susan said, and what I've said in the past is it's not all going to get fixed overnight. It's not going to all be fixed in 2025. But the important thing is that there is a direction now. There is a you have your roadmap, right? And you know where you want to get to, and you have dotted out your path. You have dotted out your route to get to said destination. So before, like with Farhan, I felt like it was just like throwing crap at the wall and just trying to see what worked. I felt like there was no direction there with the previous regime, as to now with Buster Posey. And again, it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen in one off season. It's not going to happen in 2 off seasons. This is going to be something that is going to continue to grow the farther removed we are from the start of this regime, that you start to see the development of the farm system, because this essentially has to be built from the ground up. But then now they're trying to maximize what they do have at various levels of the organization. But yeah, I mean, you wonder how different this team will be, how it would look with Farhan. I would even stretch it out further than the San Francisco Giants. I would look at the Sacramento River Cats. I would look at the Richmond Flying Squirrels. I would look at the San Jose Giants, because what was weird, even with Kyle Harrison, was that these guys were only going 4 innings. I don't think that's going to be the case in the minor leagues anymore. They are going to get back to that old school mentality of you got to throw innings. You got to go deep, especially when it comes to the pitching aspect of these guys, because 4 innings for Kyle Harrison, 4 innings for Carson Wisenhunt last year, where, I was thinking that Carson Wisenhunt could have possibly had a chance to come up like in summer, right? But that it just was there. They didn't have that pitch count. They didn't have that inning count that you would like to see prior to someone making the jump. And that's why, when you look to that fifth rotation spot in the Giants rotation, the 5th spot, that's why I think that it goes to Kyle Harrison, is because, yeah, Hayden Birdsong, he pitched fantastic last year. And he is worthy of being on a major league roster. But the fact of the matter is that he still needs to build up his arm strength. He did not pitch deep into games because that was an organizational philosophy. And that philosophy is now going to change. So you talk about the difference in this team. Yeah, I think that there is going to be a difference in mentality with some of the guys that are on the roster for the 2025 Giants. But I think the difference is going to be felt in year 2, year 3, when we start seeing the development of these young guys that are coming up in the organization, that are being taught a different way, a different brand that is Giants baseball. I think that is going to be the telltale difference with Buster Posey. And now I'm getting off my soapbox there, but just had to say that. Thank you for firing me up, Rockin' New Era. You got more? No, I don't have more posters up behind me. These were up last week. The banners, they were up last week, but I have shifted the camera angle. It's a little lower. You can see it more. You can see higher now. You guys can't see here. I can tilt it up a little bit. You got the thank you Bochy up there. There goes the Willie Mack right here, and then you got 700 for Barry Bonds. Dad got me that, and then what else we got? What else we got going up? Oh yeah, dude, got a Jose Altuve bobblehead. You guys hate me now. From left to right, we got Jose Altuve, Roberto Clemente, Yadier Molina, and then Mike Trout. But yeah, we'll talk about the Altuve at a later date for sure. Oh well, now I messed up my camera. Let me fix that. I think we're good. Nope. Now we gotta get back up here. Yeah, that's what I get for showing off. Now I'm giving you guys my recliner. Hold on. There we go. Good to go. Good for now. Good for now. We're gonna wrap things up here in a little bit. Where's my mouse? Okay. Let's see here. Let's see what else we got going on here. Did you fix Webb's legs? No, I did not. Still gotta fix Logan Webb. Still gotta fix him. He's still on the mend. I'm scared to touch him. Look. See, it looks great like that, but he's still broken. I still got to fix Logan. We'll leave him there. We'll leave him off to the side. But I do have my Willie Mays, and I got my Vladdy right here, along with the picture of my sisters at the first World Series parade in 2010. That was a hell of a time. Let's see what else we got here. PS5, baby. No, Xbox One, baby. Xbox One, AJ. But it is a dual platform, right? So you can play people with the Xbox. But yeah, we'll definitely do that. Can we play skip sessions and build your own franchise? Yeah, we can do that. We can build our own franchise. Yeah, we can do that. Let's see. So far, H.A. Cruz getting into it. So Farhan is a special assistant or something. That means he's doing Starbucks runs and picking up dry cleaning, right? Yeah, he's essentially doing what every other person who was here. Scott Harris, right? He's now with Detroit though, so Scott Harris is doing things. But yeah, he's doing what other guys under him were doing at the time when he was here. They were just there to get the coffee in the morning. Let's see here. Farhan kept getting lost. It's so funny. You mentioned Farhan and everybody just loses their mind, loses their collective minds for 1 second. You mentioned Farhan and people just lose their shit. It's so funny, myself included. I get like so angry when people bring up Farhan Zaidi. I'm just like, dude, I'm just trying to get so far removed from that regime, so far removed. Like, I know they brought the 2021 Giants, but we all know by now, like, that was the most outlier thing that has ever happened in sports, probably. I think the U.S. hockey team, the Miracle hockey team, they probably had a higher chance at beating Russia, beating the Soviet Union, than the Giants did of going into that season and beating the Dodgers in the division and winning 107 games. Let's be honest, like that is an outlier. We'll have to go through that at some point when we have time. The biggest outliers in sports. Where do you rank the 2021 San Francisco Giants? We'll definitely get into that. I know you guys will come up with some good stuff there when we have that conversation. But let's see here. What else we got going on before I get on out of here? Ernie, what's up, man? Good to see you in here. Good to see you made it. A lot of fun here on a Monday on February 17th. If you missed it, if you want to go back and listen, we had Susan Slusser on the podcast earlier today. Talked for about how long did we talk, chat? We talked for about 30 minutes, maybe 25, 26 minutes. We got some of the YouTube chat asking some questions to Susan on the way out. But if you guys want to catch any of that, I will repost the interview. I'll try to self-contain it. I have to do my my editing skills, self-contain it, and put it in as an interview, so you guys can go ahead and check that out. No problem. But yeah, Ernie, what's up, man? What's up? Good to see you in here. Let's see. Oh, the banners are looking nice. Thank you, Rocket. I appreciate it. Courtesy of my girlfriend. My girlfriend set up the banners because I used to have them where you couldn't see them. I used to have them right next to, on my right-hand side. You can't see it. I'm pointing to nothing because you guys don't know what I'm looking at. But I used to have I have a wall. Not used to. The wall's still there. But I had the banners lined up there in order. But she was like, well, why don't you move it over there and put it over here? And it looks great. It looks great. So shout out to my lady because she helped me out. She hooked me up. Nice man cave. Otis, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Or is this my room? Yeah, I sleep in here. I sleep in here sometime. No, no, this is not my room. This is the man cave. This is the man cave / office / lounge / cat room. It's kind of a hybrid. It's kind of everything. It's whatever you want it to be. It's whatever you put your mind to. Type room. That's what we got here. On Passion for the Pastime. Dude, do the Dodgers need a dog? Jesus Christ. Yeah, you should do that. You should definitely send your dog down there, AJ, and ruin the Dodgers from within. Which, by the way, I still do have my my TV. If anybody is interested in the TV, I still do have it. AJ. Let's see what else we got. Chalejo. What are you guys talking about? Xbox One still connects to the network. Yes, it does. Hell yeah, it does. Let's see. Nancy, saludos de Lima. Hola de Lima. That's my prima. Hell yeah. Love seeing that. Let's see what else we got going on. Farhan ruined Giants baseball, even though, yeah, he did ruin it. Set us back 30 minutes, give or take, for Susan. Thank you, Rockin'. Thank you for keeping a timer on that. Robert, welcome into Passion for the Pastime. On our way out, we're saying hello and goodbye to everybody. Melvin's Magic, Posey's plan. This year, the Giants redeemed themselves. Hell yeah, I love the positive attitude, Robert. Definitely love that for sure. Let's go ahead and catch on up. We are caught up. Let's see. Oh yeah, Rock. I did agree to give it to Rockin' already. So if anybody wants to give me money for it, then you outbid Rockin', obviously. Rockin', I'll give you the TV for a hat. How about that? I'll give you a TV for a hat. Let's see. Yeah, March 14th is a release date for MLB The Show. Yeah, that is the $1. Yeah, that's the release date for the new game, but I do have the old game, so we can go into there. If we want to do anything, I can go like add Willie Adames on the roster and see how it all plays out. But But yeah, no, we have the 2024, but 2025, yes, Mike, it does come out on the 14th, which I hate. I hate that they do it so late. Why do they do it only 2 weeks before the start of the season? Don't you want people to start playing from the rip, from when spring training starts? Why isn't it released March 1st? I mean, what are we doing? Jesus. Sorry, now that's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother ramble on my part. But all right, you guys going into a bid war for the TV? What? All right, I got 150 going once, going twice. Got 150, 150. All right, so let's get on out of here, guys, really quick before I end this podcast. Do have to let you guys know that we are doing a San Francisco Giants ticket giveaway. If you were here at the beginning of the show, if you've been $2, I got $2. I got $2.01, $2.01. I got $2.05, $2.10, $2.10. Oh, dude, I suck as an auctioneer, clearly. But what else we got going on? Oh, okay, so the Giants tickets, really quick while I get on out of here. Giants tickets, if you guys have been listening the last couple of weeks, we did hit 100 subscribers on the YouTube chat, or YouTube channel. So appreciate you guys for making that possible, making that happen. I can't do this without you guys. And it's been a lot of fun. So what I wanted to do was reward you guys for going up and beyond the 100 subscriber mark. And what we're going to do is we're going to give away two tickets, a pair of tickets to go see the Giants in the 2025 season. I'll go ahead and put the information in here in the YouTube chat again. Just put it in there, just copied and pasted it. But essentially, you get a chance to win two tickets, and what that means is I need help from you guys. It is great that you're here. You're here in the YouTube chat. It is great that you are subscribed to the podcast. And if you're not, go ahead and subscribe and hit the subscribe button, hit the notifications, and give us a comment, give us a like on all of our videos here, all of our live streams that we do here Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. But that isn't enough. One thing I need from you guys to enter for a chance to win. I need you guys to get on the screenshot. You guys got to go to the page, be subscribed, hit a screenshot, and send that screenshot to passionforthepastime@gmail.com. Again, passionforthepastime@gmail.com. You see it there in the YouTube chat. Anything that you want to include in that email, go ahead and include it. But basically, all I need is the screenshot, your name, and you are done. You are entered, and the screenshot obviously has to show that you are subscribed. We had this question earlier. I believe it was from AJ. So Ernie, really appreciate you bringing this up again. Any limits on entries? Technically, there is not limits on entries, but what I would like you guys to do is, if you want to have multiple chances at winning, go ahead and subscribe your family members. Get your friends to get in on the action. Get everybody subscribed, but it has to be subscribed to from multiple accounts. It has to be subscribed from multiple accounts. So that's the only thing that is holding you up. But yes, send it out to your wife, send it out to your cousins, send it out to your friends. Even if they don't listen, have them jump in, because they do have to claim it on Thursday. But that's the only requirement is you have to be present, or you have to contact me at a later date to claim your prize. I'll give you guys a little bit of time after that. We'll talk about that on Thursday when we'll be giving away the prize. But remember, go ahead and give me a screenshot of your subscription to Passion for the Pastime. Then you send that to passionforthepastime@gmail.com. I will see it. I will notify you. I will let you know that it has been received. Then on Thursday, it'll be a spinny wheel. And we will go ahead and give out that prize, and it will be awarded on Thursday during the show. So again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up via that email. Hit me up on Passion for the Pastime on the YouTube page. Hit me up on here, or you can hit me up on my Twitter. You can go ahead and go to Walleezy. That's WALLEEZZY. Again, WALLEEZZY to ask me any questions. You can get into my DMs if you have any questions. Tacky submitted via DM as well on X, so you can go ahead and do that as well. I will accept that. But Pat H, it's rigged. Oh hell yeah, dude! What is this, like Trump telling people to vote multiple times? Hell yeah, dude. Let's see what else we got going on here. Gonna get my mom. Yeah, so I mean, play the honor system. Play the honor system. Don't be crazy with it, you guys. But yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna limit, I guess, entries, but it has to be different accounts that are subscribed. That is the only holdup on that. So yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. And if I see something fishy, if I think it's rigged, obviously, if I have somebody giving me 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 subscriptions or entries, then I probably won't honor those, but I'll give you guys a couple of them. But we'll go ahead and do that on Thursday. Again, 2 tickets to go see the San Francisco Giants at some point during the season. 2 tickets will be given away on Thursday because I want to thank you guys. I want to thank you guys for being proud supporters of Passion for the Pastime. My Pastimers want to reward you guys, and that's just a start, right? I mean, we're above 100, and we hope to keep it climbing, keep it going, and keep the momentum going for sure as we get closer to the regular season. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and hit me up on Twitter. Go ahead and hit me up on YouTube. Go ahead and hit me up wherever you can contact me. We'll go ahead and do that for sure. And I will clarify anything if you guys need clarification. So I'm going to get on out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed Susan Slusser. It was a lot of fun. We'll definitely continue to do this. We'll continue to have the all-star guests that you guys deserve. We're going to have them here on Passion for the Pastime. We'll have more guests to come in the week. But we'll continue to talk Giants baseball as we get closer to the start of spring training. First game is on Saturday. So you guys remember to tune in to KMBR to listen to that one. John Miller and Dwayne Kuiper on the call. First game against the Texas Rangers and Bruce Bochy. It's going to be a lot of fun. So hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the podcast. I had a lot of fun and love to connect with you guys. Hope you guys all had a great weekend, a great holiday, and we'll be back at it again tomorrow. We'll be back at it again tomorrow at 6 o'clock, maybe a little bit earlier, maybe 5:45. Remember to have your notifications on and ready to go because we'll start it whenever we are good to go. But yeah, it might be 5:45, might be 6. We'll have to see how the day's going, see how I'm feeling, but we'll definitely do that. So you guys have a good one. I want to thank everybody that stopped by the podcast today. Again, I want to thank Susan Slusser for stopping by the podcast today. It was a lot of fun talking Giants baseball with her of the San Francisco Chronicle, senior beat reporter Susan Slusser. Rock a new era. Really appreciate you being in here, being the first comment of the day. Really appreciate you, Pat H. Really appreciate you, Lori Galvin. Otis, EB, Mike Val, the regulars. Robert was in here earlier at some point. Ernie checked in. EB here checked in as well. So I appreciate all of you guys. And of course, AJ, my guy AJ Cruz. The cruise line was not open today, or I guess it kind of was for Susan Slusser, but we'll have it back up and running tomorrow. Don't foresee having a guest tomorrow. So you guys have a good one. Be safe. And we'll be back at it again. Remember, tomorrow, roughly around 6 o'clock, 5:45, 6 o'clock. You guys just have those notifications on, and I'll take care of the rest. So you guys have a good one. Be safe. Take care, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.